Okay, Ramblers, let's get rambling.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
I'm Some Dumb Guy, and welcome to episode 42 of SumDumWatch, my weekly series chronicling what I watch from my physical media library and theatrical attendances. How you doing, buddy? Buddy's digging in the couch cushions. Episode 42 will cover the week of July 14th through July 20th. What did I watch? Let's find out. All three of my regular viewers will know I am a huge fan of Alexander Dumas' work and adaptations. So, first and foremost, I watched one of my adaptations for my personal 3-pack, Count of Monte Cristo, with Jim Caviezel from 2003. I also have the 1975 Richard Chamberlain film that came paired when I bought it with Man Friday, Peter O'Toole, and the late great Richard Roundtree. Well, I guess they're both technically late great at this point. This is something I put together as one of my many space-saving measures. It works. It's not elegant. It's simple, but my 6mm Blu-ray cases scan, print, voila, make things happen. 3 movies in the space of half a case. Not the most loyal or traditional, faithful adaptations of the Count of Monte Cristo novel, but for a condensed, streamlined version that caps just over 2 hours. It's great fun, really well made, performed, casted across the board. One of the earliest appearances of young Henry Cavill. When I saw this movie was new in 2003, first time I saw him, like, you know what? When he grows up, that kid, he make for a damn good, at least physically, Superman. And guess what happened? Some 9 years later. Just saying. Love the movie. Rewatch it probably like once a year. Next up was A Blind Buy from Vinegar Syndrome. I don't know what drew me to this particular film. There was something, and I went out and I found it on Amazon, picked it up, decent price for a Vinegar Syndrome release. I watched it this week for the first time. It's not good. It's like a horror film, but not a traditional horror film. And it is essentially, the best way I could describe it is if John Hughes went rated R and dark with a madman. It had so many John Hughes isms, you know. It's like, okay, we got a group of students and they're doing their thing, living life, gonna go on spring break down to Fort Lauderdale from Catholic school and run into a very bad situation, these 4 girls. It's called Shallow Grave, and yeah, incredibly low budget, feels it on every single level. There's no recognizable cast, the acting is horrible, the directing is atrocious. There's a lot of really weird musical cues. There's it's got to be a country song, but it doesn't quite sound country, but especially from 1984. But there's this collection of like a montage of scenes that take place over the course of like 5 minutes, and it's cutting, but it's interspersed. It's each clip comes with a portion of the song, almost like the actor that is following along in this montage is listening to the same song on the radio or cassette on a loop, and it just keeps playing the same section of the song over and over and over again. It took me 3 particular sittings to get through that one. Somehow seemed to manage to pause it and find something else to do in the midst. So, as a palate cleanser, one of my favorites from about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and a very pricey import at the time when this was all that was available. This is Godzilla -1. This is the American duplicated release of the Japanese release, direct from the Godzilla website. Originally, this was only available in Japan, and then they turned around and made it available in the U.S. Everything's in Japanese. Everything plays here. It's all Region 1. They featured this in an unboxing some time ago. Very hard, rigid box. Very well made. You got some booklets. We'll have your right side up for the big lizard. You know, but it's all in Japanese, and there's, you know, some still photos and such. She was very adorable. Doesn't tell me anything without some kind of translator. Sometimes I just want a movie. We don't need all the bells and whistles, right? You got some English printed advertisements. Yeah, more English language advertisements. But then you got stuff like this, and I don't even know which is right side up. This is all stuff related to the film, but it's all in Japanese. I don't know. That's fine. It'd been nice, just, you know. I don't think they did eventually do it, for at least Blu-rays. I don't know if they did it for 4K. I think it came out limited, but they re-released it in just some plain old regular packaging. But this is the 4K Blu-ray combo, which has the 4K of Godzilla -1, Blu-ray of Godzilla -1, a Blu-ray of Godzilla -1 minus color, which is the black and white release of the film. Got to see both versions in the theater. And then I believe one last disc of just special features. Such things don't typically interest me, so I didn't really watch them. But I'm not sure what's on this list. But yeah, it's a beautifully made movie. It's a beautifully made package. I don't regret buying it. But if there was a choice between this and just kind of a standard vanilla-ish release that gave me these discs in a normal case, that would have been what I would have opted for. I still have never been able to get myself to take the plastic off this thing so I could properly display it. So it looks great when the glare's not hitting it. Great movie. Love this movie. I'd like to introduce people to this movie. I don't have a huge amount of Godzilla experience, but it's definitely the best by far of what I have seen. Western Time, one of my favorite regular rewatches as well. This just got announced for a 4K upgrade. Steelbook exclusive. So guess what? Sticking with my Blu-ray. I don't even like this release, but I think it's the only way you can get it on Blu-ray. This is Silverado. This is just a really great fun Western from, I believe, 1985. You've got Kevin Kline, Scott Glenn, Rosanna Arquette, John Cleese, Kevin Costner, Brian Dennehy, Danny Glover, Jeff Goldblum, Linda Hunt. John Cleese has got way too high a billing on this. It's hardly in it, but it's a digibook. A little booklet in there, single disc. I think this is the only way this was released on Blu-ray. Bought it used. I wouldn't have bought something like this new. At least I think I bought it used. I don't remember anymore. If I did, it's damn good shape. I love this movie, but I have a feeling that it got butchered in the editing room. Case in point, I'm just kind of poking through here. I have no recollection of a scene that Rosanna Arquette is holding a rifle. Everything else looks like it was probably accounted for, but the second half of the second act and the whole third act, there's some choppiness to it, some missing character bits, some developmental issues. It's very choppy. I honestly, I want to find out someday. I want to look into this and see. I really think there is something seriously missing. Like 20 minutes of this film that just got chopped out. And it's already a little over 2 hours, but I'd love to see an uncut version of that film if it's ever out there somewhere. Still love it though, but it bothers me. Guess what I finished? Ash vs. Evil Dead No More. Talk about rushed and chopped. I now speculate if this show was canceled prematurely. I thought it had been doing relatively well and seemed to be popular by those who were watching it. The third season was incredibly hit and miss for me. I think I discussed this in last week's episode. I couldn't decide whether I was having fun with it or hating it. It seemed to be just all over the place. The finale was incredibly anticlimactic, unfulfilling, and then it leads into like a prologue for something that one end teases and on the other end lets you know that Ash's battle against the Evil Dead failed, but you don't get to see it. And then there's weird, I'm not going to say anything. This character gets introduced in the final scene, potential character, because it doesn't go anywhere. And like, I know that girl. And then right after I think this was done, she starred in like a European fantasy series called The Outpost, and she headlined that one. I was just like, at first I thought she was somebody else, and I'm like, oh, wait, no, that's not her. I thought it was what's her name from Transformers? Michael Bay's little Muse. Thought it was her. Turned out it was not. It was the gal, something Green. Her last name's Green. She starred in The Outpost, a show that started out well, and like this one, first season was great, second season was like, ugh, and then third season, fourth season, it's like, where are you going? Its lore got the better of it, kind of like this one did. It's produced by the same people. I don't know. Last but not least, my lone theatrical viewing of the week, I went for what we call a flashback, one show only release in a theater of Tremors. Yes, I've seen it. Yes, I own it. Some movies you just want to have a theatrical experience with, and I did. I've always been marginally on the fence about Tremors. I recognize, okay, it's fine, it's whatever, it's an experience. Never particularly loved it. Sometimes the theater experience could elevate it, sometimes not. In this case, it did. I had a lot more fun with it. I actually laughed. Never laughed at the movie before in the 2 or 3 times I'd seen it. So happy to have checked that one out. This is like one of my little theaters does this every Tuesday, and there's some good ones coming up here for I think the rest of the summer. So be prepared for more flashbacks, theatrical viewings. That's it for me. I'm done checking out. Thank you all for watching. What'd you think of my picks this week for my viewing experience? What have you watched from your own library? Share word box below. Let me know. But he's now gone, so you can't say hi to him. He went outside. I think Sugar's sleeping in bed. So kind of solo for the last half of it. So I will say goodnight just on my end. Thanks again. I shall see you next time. Bye.
Alan.